FT-817ND. Just picked this up off eBay. Reported reverse polarity on the power supply. They've attempted to fix it. This is the I've dismantled it. I'm not going to show you to do that. I mean, you can't do that. Don't bother watching any further. They reported that they'd replaced some of the components on here, mainly this choke, I think, and the unit was still dead. That was the report on eBay anyway, so I just thought, well, I'll take a gamble. I've traced it all the way through, and the supply rails are all correct, and the charging circuits are all correct. But then when I did sort of then start having a nose around the rest of the board, and I noticed that this ribbon cable here has become focus. I can't see, sorry. It's become disconnected on the basis that the actual snap over hook's missing. Now when I turn this over, I don't know if you can see just down the bottom there are signs of burning. What I've done, I've traced it through, pin to pin on this. That works fine, no problem at all. The symptoms are the unit just doesn't power up at all. So after checking all this part here, and we've got the supply rails down to the output board, 12 volts fine. The charging circuit seems to be working fine as regards checking it resistively and continuity wise and that, no problem at all. So it made me think, well, on the basis there's a little bit of burning on here, down here, which is actually a 0 volt, and then there's another rail and a 5 volt rail. I thought, well, it could be a head fault, so I had a quick look at the head, and lo and behold, if you go over to, if I can get this stand, zoom in a little bit, just this component here has cracked and started to bubble, so it's taken a bit of a wallop. Obviously the next thing is to investigate this and trace it through. This standard head unit attaches easy enough. Find out what this component is, and have a look at replacing that and the ancillary components around it, and tracing it through back to the main header pins here. We'll give that a go anyway. As I say, I mean, whatever reverse polarity damage was done, whoever had it previous to me has corrected it, so, but I think they've missed this, so or they've seen it and just ignored it. One of the two, but I'll have a look anyway. Let's see where we get to. I've got to dismantle this now and we'll have a look at it and get the circuit diagram out. Been so hard to see that component there without dismantling. I thought I'd get the digital microscope out, and I hope you can see that. That's what it's looking like. Had a quick look on the circuit diagram, and it appears to be this component here, which is, when I checked it out, is the Q4013, which is actually a voltage regulator. So I'll have to look at a replacement for that. It's got quite a large input range on it, so it's 16 volt input max. So I can't just stick anything on there. I might just try a 5 volt regulator on there just to try it until I can get one of these. 75 milliamps, that's fine, it's no problem. And that's what it looks like. I've checked the diode just above it, that one there. It does show signs of burning, but I think it's from that. But it is still working, but I will replace, and then I'm going to check the other components around it, and obviously have a look at tracing it through, to see if I can find out, if anything else has gone as well. But that was the initial finding anyway, was that burnt out voltage regulator there. So I'll get that changed. I believe there is another one as well, so I'll look at that. I'll get back to you as soon as I've got one. Alright, that's the ribbon cable as well. I'll just stuck it on top of that battery, just lift it up a little bit, but I don't know if you can see that. there is a sign, definitely a sign of burning in there or something. So I have traced it through, and it does seem to be okay. But I might look at changing the ribbon cable as well. We'll see if we can power the head up first with this in place, and have a look at it then, because it does look a little bit suspect. The first track. I could just put a joint across it, I suppose, or a wire, but we'll do it properly. So, but as I say, that's the ribbon cable that joins the main board to the head unit. Right, what I've done, I traced everything through, checked all the components. I didn't have one of the 5-volt regulators, so I've just dropped an LP2951, I think, or 50 into it. It's a 5-volt regulator, 100 milliamp rated, I think. So that's in place of the SMD component. We'll give it a power up. I'm running it at 13 volts. We're going to do a quick transmission test as well. So let's try it and see what happens. Ta-da! Yeah, nice simple fix. Let's just do a transmission. So we're on 77's calling channel, and I believe probably full power. So, and we are showing 135 hertz off frequency and about 3.5 watts. So its transmission is working. So let's drop down a band. We'll get to 2 meters. So now we're on 2 meters, calling channel. Obviously feeding this into the Marconi test set, so effectively a dummy load. Let's give it a quick try and see what we're off. We're showing 193 hertz out and 4.14 watts. Probably a little bit low. I think we'll have to do a little bit of tuning on this. I think somebody's had a play. Now I think the front antenna, we'll try it. We're down to 50. Set that to FM. Oh, what's happening there? Oh, changing the band, not the mode. Okay, give that a quick try. See what that comes up with. 212 hertz out, and it's 4.65 watts. I'm going to try tuning it a little bit. I think it's a bit too much out, to be honest. I mean, it's supposed to have a OXO, I think it's called, frequency spec on this. I don't know, it seems a bit out to me, but anyway, it's all working now. So my £80 bargain for the sake of a 5-volt voltage regulator. Bargain. I'll come back to you if I do any more on it, and we'll have a look at tuning it, running through the service manual and see what that comes up with. 7 throws.